myself inside this bathroom, and I noticed a man and a girl were in the bathroom. Actually, I noticed two men, two black men and one black girl in the bathroom with me. And I just want to back up a few seconds. Before I enter into this bathroom, one of the two black men and a black girl was standing outside in front of the bathroom. And before I entered the bathroom, one of the black men attempted to try to punch me for some crazy reason, but he didn't punch me. His fist did not connect to my chin. So I entered the bathroom, and these people followed me into the bathroom. Then they locked the bathroom door, and it was just me and the three other people. And then I questioned myself, why are they locking me in this bathroom? I didn't become afraid. The only thing I told myself in this dream is that God is with me, and whatever happened, God is going to be in the midst of this situation. And then I woke up from this kind of whacked out dream. The next number in this piece is the number 14. This segment is called Section 10, One Church / Moon and Bright Star Dream, or S101 CHR / MNBRSTD. In the month of February 18, 2011, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was standing around downtown Brooklyn, and it was daytime. It was a little gray out. I stood across the street from the Brooklyn Tabernacle, which used to be my old church back in the mid-'80s. I was a member of that church for quite a while. I even met Pastor Simmer of this church, and a lot of senior people in the Brooklyn Tabernacle back in the mid-'80s. And I observed the Brooklyn Tabernacle senior staff. The senior staff all walked together in one line. They were walking they were walking behind one another in one line. And they were walking a bit fast. Then I looked to see where they were heading to. Then I discovered they were walking towards, I believe, a new Brooklyn Tabernacle building, which was kind of tall. Then I seen, which I believe was Pastor Jim Simler, walk in front of me with his back turned towards me. I was surprised to see him walk alone on Fulton Street. His feet protruded outward. They was like, tilted outward. It was like, outward, not inward. It was like bizarre. While he was walking, his feet was just outward. And he too walked quickly towards the new Brooklyn Tabernacle. Then the next thing I took notice of in this dream was now the sky became slightly dark, and then I noticed the moon and the Orion constellation. The moon was a bit bright, and the Orion constellation was a bit brighter, and the moon was in the left side of the sky, and the constellation Orion was on the right side of the sky. And then all of a sudden, slightly became a little darker, I believe, and the moon glowed even brighter. And then on the side of the Orion constellation, many stars, a whole bunch of little tiny stars, appeared practically from nowhere. And these clusters of new stars I haven't seen before, next to the Orion constellation, stood between the Orion constellation and the constellation of Taurus. And I woke up from this dream, and this dream kind of impressed me so much so that I made a small conception of what I see pertaining to the moon and the many stars and Orion. Okay, as you see here, there's the moon. It turned slightly dark, That's the Orion constellation. And here all the little stars is gleaming in the evening sky or the darkened sky. The next number in this segment is the number 15. This segment is called section 10, 3 Church Dream, and I call this Church Dream, Church and Black Dream, or S101CHRBLKD. Okay, in this dream I dreamt that I was, I believe, in the Times Square Church, and I was sitting in a balcony in the back, inside this church. The church had like a somber atmosphere. There was a small amount of people inside this church, and it's almost as if the people in this church became quiet so they could hear a word from the Lord. And then I noticed that the pastor of the Times Square Church, David Wilkerson, I seen him get up from his chair. Mind you, like I said, if I haven't said it, the senior staff of the Times Square Church were seated upon the stage, in this church. And anyhow, David Wilkerson left his seat and he walked towards the podium. While I was watching him walk towards his podium, I said to myself, I am so happy to be back in this church, because I was also an attendee of the Times Square Church somewhere in the early 90s when I left the Brooklyn Tabernacle. And while I was watching David Wilkerson come to the podium, I sensed a great deal of fear and a lot of commotion going on outside the church. And for some reason, I didn't stay or stick around to hear what David Wilkerson was about to say. But I got up and I left the church. Now, the next thing I noticed that I was riding a small bike, and I was riding my bike down Fulton Street here in Brooklyn. I might have been around Nelson Avenue or Lafayette Avenue, between Nelson and Lafayette, and I was riding my bike. And it was nighttime, and I noticed that a black kid was riding more or less the same kind of small bike I was riding, but he was right behind me, and he was like speeding up, and he almost hit my bike. So I more or less stopped and let him bypass me, and he continued to ride forward. Seconds later, he almost was hit by a car. Anyhow, but and the young bike rider was not hit by the automobile, but he stopped for a while. Then he continued to ride his bike forward. So I also continued riding my bike forward. Then the last things I took notice of this dream was inside a subway. I might have been in a Kingston Troop subway station or Nelson Avenue subway station, and I stood with a small amount of people, black people, and we all were standing next to an empty token booth, and we were all watching a West Indian heavy-set man arguing with a small, tiny black American man, very small and slim. And they were more or less, the West Indian man was arguing with the black American man. And the next thing I noticed was that I believe the West Indian man thrown the skinny guy into the train tracks. And somehow I found myself standing on the edge of the train tracks, where I was able to see the skinny man lying on the train tracks, not on the dirt rail, but it's more or less his head, this top part of his head was lying on the train rail, and the West Indian man had one of his foot on the man's neck. The skinny guy was knocked out, and then I heard a train come into the subway that we were all in.